One popular program on television was a game show called Let's Make a Deal. Very exciting show because you never knew what was behind the box, what was behind the window, and you tried to negotiate and hope for the best. And this is what we do often, sometimes in our own lives. We call it bargaining. Today we continue with the second video in a recorded interview with Mrs. Joyce Ellis from the Welcome Resource Center here in Belize, as we focus on the stages of grief. This is the second segment of the video that has been recorded. We will rejoin her as we continue the discussion on how to cope and how to manage during times of anxiety and grief and trauma and stress, especially during this time of pandemic. Stay tuned. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Major Jonathan Kellman, District Officer for the Salvation Army here in Belize. As we conclude our series, 10 Major Minutes this week. After passing through denial, we often find ourselves in a state of bargaining. Let us rejoin the interview with Mrs. Ellis now as we discuss the stage of bargaining. Yes, I like that. So, okay, so that is the denial and dealing with it from both sides. Now, but of course, then when we bring in that strong person, now let's talk about the second part. We bring in the strong person, and then the doctor comes in and gives the prognosis. Then there's that second kind of stage, the bargaining thing, like if I can do this to get it, or
Yeah, you would have people that say, again, they would want to ask for that second opinion because that's bargaining, and they would want to say, is this doctor the best doctor for the situation? Are we getting the best medication? Like questions like that. Some people start to say like, oh, well, if I had only spent this money on this situation, it would get this worse. So that's when you're starting with bargaining. Some people reach to the extent where they're even like bargaining with God. Why me? Why my family? Why is it happening to her and him? And there are other people out there that they deem sad to the Lord, and they think that it's less fortunate because for some reason people seems to feel like once you have money, it's all over, you could whatever.
Yeah. But we find that, well, from our fields of experience, that the grief and trauma is no respect of persons, and everybody go through the same kind of
go through the same phases.
Struggles to get over. If I had said this, or if I had done this, I know when my mother died, I struggled a lot with it because I had been away for so many years, and sometimes I could have picked up the phone, but I was busy. Sometimes I just send a quick text, and then you say to yourself, well, I could have maybe called, or I could have, maybe called more often or something. But yeah, there could somehow you have in your mind. I guess it's part of denial really, that most of us live in every day. You have in your mind that the person will always be there, even though the person is getting older or something. Like you don't want to wish that something happened to them.
And you feel like if you were there, then the result would have been better. It would have been different.
Yeah.
That's how some people feel. If I was only there and they started like blaming family members also in that bargain, well, you should have told me that mommy needed this and this one needed that and all of that. But they fail to realize that when that clock starts ticking and the number is called, there's nothing much that we can do as individuals to prolong the life of an individual.
And of course, during this time of helping to deal with a person in that stage, we call on people like me, the pastor, to come and do some counseling and prayer.
Yeah,
But
they want the counseling, they want the prayers.
But yeah, as a professional now, this question is a key question for people like me, the pastors and so. When you have to go and deal with a case like this, and you're helping somebody in that bargaining stage, and you're trying to tell them, okay, well, you may have to come to that acceptance, or they're trying to get a second opinion, or whatever. That thing, it takes a strain on you. How will you, as the person, the quote unquote strong person, how you treat yourself, like how you strengthen yourself when you have to release so much of that energy to motivate and comfort during
for my motivation and comfort, because I am a believer, and I always tell people my strength is always in that higher power. So I tell myself, and I usually tell persons, that you know what, this person that you lost today, or that you will lose in the future, you will be able to see him or her again through this channel. And for the most part, the people here in our country are believers, so they know what, yes, sometimes our faith are being tested and it's being shaken, but when it comes to death, that's the only person we could lean on, that you know what, we know that eventually we will see each other again, and that's my comfort spot, and I try to get individual to reach there also.
Good. No. Thank you, Mrs. Ellis. We'll be back again in the next video. Let's just leave it there. Finish with denial and into bargaining. Let me give you the bite-sized boost before you go. Unknown person says it might not be easy, but it'll be worth it. Another one says, make your fear of losing your greatest motivator. Another one says, you will never always be motivated, so you must learn to be disciplined. My dear friends, see you in the next video. Blessings.